Hi guys, in this next video I'm going to give you my thoughts about why Khachanov has had such great recent success in the Grand Slams, including this year's Australian Open semi-final run, and could be further than that, could make it to the finals and even win the tournament, who knows. But the fact of the matter remains right now that not being a top 20 player, not having really any top 10 wins recently, he has one of the biggest losing against top 10 players streak right now on the tour. He's made two back-to-back Grand Slam semifinals, two of the most highly sought after, most competitive, most strongly desired tournaments in the world, and he's getting those semifinal spots. And he's had to beat good players along the way. Nishioka's been a great player. He beat him. Tiafoe just made a run to last year's US Open semifinal. He beat him. Sebastian Korda beat Hurkacz and Medvedev. Khachanov beat him too. What's going well for Khachanov right now, considering he hasn't been a top 10 player in a very long time, and he doesn't have really a top 10 win in a long time either. And I think, just being honest, I don't think Khachanov's someone that has a ton of really big weapons in his game. I don't think he has the explosiveness or the power on his forehand like a Berrettini or Alcaraz. He doesn't have the movement of a Djokovic or a De Minaur, and he doesn't have the serve of like a Kyrgios or a John Isner. Why has he been able to make these runs that so many people compete so hard to be able to achieve? What's been going well for him? In this next video, I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on them. Well, first, just a little bit of background on Khachanov. I believe 2018 Paris Masters finals. He had a great tournament there, beat some really good players to be able to get there. He beat John Isner in 3 sets. He killed Dominic Thiem in straight sets. I think he had one other big win too that I'm forgetting about. But anyway, he makes the finals of that Masters 1000 tournament, and he's playing Djokovic in the final. Djokovic is extremely successful at the Paris Masters 1000, and he's extremely tough to beat. But Khachanov beat him there, and in straight sets too. And that certainly wasn't his only good tournament in the year either. He beat Nadal. He didn't beat Nadal, but he had a very good match against Nadal in the US Open 4th round that same year. And he had some other good results at Grand Slams prior to that as well. I believe a semifinal Masters 1000 run. And at that time, he was 21, 22 years old, I believe. And it really looked like he was going to be one of the great players to come. He's really found his form. He's playing an impressive tennis. He really looks like the complete package. Like, he's going to be great. And that didn't quite happen. He didn't become like a star in the next few years. And normally something I notice with players, I feel like either when they have high expectations placed upon them, or it seems like they're projected to become a big star, they either rise all the way to the top, play amazing, or they completely fall off. They fall totally off the map, can't get a win, can't do anything really. Khachanov did neither of those. He neither became like a consistent top 10, top 5 player, really one of the best players on the tour, having these great rivalries with the top players. But he also didn't like fall way off the map. I don't think he ever fell outside of the top 30, certainly not the top 40. And he never really had a bunch of bad losses. He never just lost to a random person in a first round. He always showed a pretty consistent level in his seasons after his first Masters 1000 title. He didn't have any matches that were that good, but he didn't have many matches that were that bad. He very rarely lost to a poor player, but he also very rarely beat a good player. But now he's had two, so he's been around the 15 to 30 spot in the rankings for a pretty long time now. But just recently, he's had 2 semifinal runs at Grand Slams. What has changed for Khachanov recently that has allowed him to do this, or what have been the keys to his success in order to get these runs? The first thing that comes to mind for me is that he's extremely consistent right now. I feel like once he's in a neutral rally, he's not going to miss. He's not going to make errors. And not only is he not going to make errors, but he's also not going to leave balls short, and he's not going to give opponents opportunities to attack. I feel like when I've been watching his matches this tournament, and I certainly haven't seen all of his matches all the way through, but I've tried to at least see snippets of all of them. It feels like in the neutral rally, he's both not going to miss before his opponent, and he's not going to hit a short ball before his opponent. Those two things make him extremely difficult to play against. When you're playing the opponents in and you feel like not only is he not going to miss, like if I force him to hit enough balls, he's not going to give me an error. But not only that, if I force him to hit enough balls, he's not even going to leave a ball short or miss hit a ball or get passive. He's going to remain disciplined throughout the entire rally and not give me any free opportunities to attack. That is extremely difficult to play against, and we've seen that throughout the tournament. One of the early indications in his matches that he was playing at a good level was against Australian player Jason Kubler. Not super high ranked right now, but he's getting better and he's very talented. They were having major colossal rallies, like 70-shot rallies, and Khachanov was the one coming out on top of them. That is because right now he's very consistent. He's extremely disciplined to the neutral ball, and he trusts that his ball is big enough and penetrating enough that no one's going to wear him down or out-hit him as the length of the rally progresses. The next point this brings me to with Khachanov is that he's playing with very high margins. Now, I think this is a very good thing. I'd recommend it to all levels, but something special about the pro level is that the demand is so high for such high-level tennis. Sometimes that means going for smaller targets and more aggressive shots to really put your opponent under pressure and to go for winners and to really earn points. Khachanov isn't really doing it for that. He's not really hitting any balls right down the line, super sharp cross court, or going for drop shots really close to the net from bad positions. He's pretty much like sticking to the ball, good height over the net, good amount of distance within the sidelines, even if he's getting a short ball and a chance to attack. Now, like I was saying earlier, this could be viewed as a bad thing, like he's not taking advantages to finish points or really finish opponents off. Instead, he's giving them chances to stay in the rally to keep hitting more shots. But the thing with his ball right now, it's already such a good ball, and it's so heavy and so penetrating that even though the opponents are able to get to it, they're not able to do anything with it. They're not able to re-neutralize it or get back into the rally when they're able to win a point. And even if they do manage to get back into neutral, Khachanov has already proven that he's one of the best neutral players within this tournament. So he might not be going for really small margins, and he may not be hitting winners. And when he's on offense, the rallies aren't ending within one or two shots. Usually he's having to hit multiple strong offensive shots to win the point, but he's willing to do that right now. He showed that he has the physicality and the discipline to stay in that rally and to hit as many shots as necessary to beat the opponents. Now, I think this creates two things for the opponents. One, it creates physical fatigue because they're having to work very hard in rallies, chasing balls side to side and having to work really hard to hit shots 6 to 8 feet behind the baseline. Even though they are able to stay in the rally, this is not a comfortable position for them to be in. And the more they have to hit balls from bad positions on the court where they can't transition to offense, and they're just forced to have to stay behind the baseline and to react to Khachanov, this is a bad situation for them because it wears them down physically. It is not ideal to win points. And secondly, it wears on them mentally. Sometimes when a player hits a good shot, you feel like, oh, I can hit a squash shot, or I can chip it back into play, or I can just try to find something, and then I'm going to be able to get back into neutral, or my opponent's going to make an error. Khachanov's not really giving easy opportunities to transition back into neutral, and on the other hand, he's not really missing shots when he's given short balls. Sometimes it feels like, if I give this guy, or if I make 2 extra shots on defense, he's going to get frustrated and panic and go for a winner, and he's going to make an error. Like if I make a few tough shots on defense, he's going to go for an error and go for something risky. I'm going to have a chance to win the point on defense. Khachanov's not really giving those chances. Even when he's going for an offense, even when he's on offense, even if it looks like he could go for more on his shots or play a little bit riskier, he's not doing that. So when the opponents are playing in defense, they know not only is Khachanov not going to give me errors because he's going for too much, but he's also not gonna push or play passive. He's still gonna hit a heavy ball that keeps me far behind the baseline, and it's not gonna make me possible to hit the next shot from a good position on court. So I think Khachanov is doing that balance really well right now, and I think that's something that worked well for him when he was playing his best tennis back in 2018, when he made the when he won the Paris Masters 1000 title. He's doing a really good job of first beating people in neutral, and then second, even when he gets to offense, he's not going for too much. He's not taking risk on his own end. He's comfortable just hitting a good shot and forcing the opponent to have to hit a tough shot rather than having to hit an outright winner. I think sometimes the outright winner is a good thing and it's valuable on the tour, but for Khachanov, his balance is working really well right now, and opponents haven't been able to find answers. This brings us, let's talk a little bit about Khachanov's upcoming tournament. He's facing Stefanos Tsitsipas in the semifinal next round. I think this is an interesting matchup for many reasons. It's a little bit of a contrast in styles. In my opinion, though, Tsitsipas is very clearly a serve plus big forehand kind of player. He wants to use his aggressive first serve to set up forehands and dictate rallies and go for winners and hit big shots. Khachanov is a little bit different. He has a big serve like Tsitsipas, probably not as good, but he wants to get into that neutral rally and make it really physical and grind and wear the opponents down. I think this is something that's been a tough matchup for Tsitsipas. He hasn't always played his best against like the really solid baseliners like Djokovic, Nadal, and Medvedev and stuff, people that are just going to make every ball and not miss. But Tsitsipas is getting better. He's had a fantastic tournament, and no one's really had answers for his offensive game yet. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. Will Khachanov's physicality and consistency be to his advantage, or will Tsitsipas's offense and aggression and early footwork be too much for Khachanov to be able to handle? I think that'll be fun to see, and I look forward to seeing which one of them makes the final for the tournament. I believe the opponent will be Novak Djokovic. Yes, Andrei Rublev, Ben Shelton, and Tommy Paul, at the time of recording this video, are still alive in the tournament. I don't think any of them are going to be able to beat Djokovic, though, especially seeing his last form against Alex de Minaur. So I look forward to the rest of the tournament. Could this the tournament for Khachanov be a return back to his top form? Could he use his last two, or his most two recent Grand Slam successes to propel himself up to the top 10 or even the top 5, where many sports analysts, including myself, expected him to be? Does he have the game to be able to do that and to start being the top 10 players? Maybe with his new level and his commitment to physicality in the rallies and not giving an inch and getting everything back and being really solid everywhere on the court, having no weaknesses. And that's one more point before I end the video. I feel like a lot of players, even if they're in good and neutral, they have like one weak point. They'll have like one shot that throws them off, or if you give them an off-pace ball, they're going to struggle. Something's going to break down. Nothing's really breaking down for Khachanov. There's no different pace or spin or slice or something that he's not seeing well. Every shot has a solid base, and he's just ripping right now. He's timing the ball beautifully. Nothing short, nothing too risky, big targets. Is this something that can be a formula for success for him going forward, to start beating the top 10 players and climbing really high in the rankings? We'll see. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching my video. See you later.